like you. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one.
Under the blinding lights of a massive stage, where every movement is calculated and every second is filled with energy, it's easy to believe that nothing goes unnoticed. Thousands of eyes are watching, cameras are capturing every angle, and fans are holding on to every moment. Yet somehow, in the middle of all that intensity, the most meaningful moments can slip by almost unseen. That's exactly what happened during one unforgettable performance by BTS. While the world was focused on the powerful choreography and electrifying presence of Park Jimin and Jeon Jungkook, a quiet, deeply emotional interaction unfolded, so subtle that many ARMY didn't even realize it had happened. But for those who noticed, it wasn't just a small moment. It was something much more, something that revealed a bond, a silent understanding, and a kind of care that doesn't need words to be felt. Amid the dazzling stage lights and the thunderous cheers of thousands of ARMY filling the arena, there was a moment so subtle, almost invisible, that it became one of the most touching interactions between Park Jimin and Jeon Jungkook. It wasn't about flawless choreography or powerful vocals, but about warmth, care, and a bond that runs deeper than what meets the eye. Ironically, many people missed it because it happened in the blink of an eye, right in the middle of their performance with BTS. As the spotlight moved swiftly across the stage, following every precise step, Jimin seemed to lose his balance for just a split second at the end of an intense choreography sequence. It was so quick that most people didn't even notice. But Jungkook did. Almost instinctively and without disrupting the performance, he stepped slightly closer, his hand moving subtly as if to make sure Jimin was okay. There were no words, no exaggerated reactions, just a quiet, meaningful gesture. Jimin, seemingly aware of that small act of concern, responded with a soft smile. It wasn't a smile meant for the cameras or the audience, it was for Jungkook alone. That fleeting exchange, lasting no more than a second, revealed something far deeper than any staged interaction ever could. In the middle of immense pressure as global superstars, they remained a source of comfort for each other. What made this moment even more emotional was their professionalism. There was no pause, no visible disruption. They returned to their positions seamlessly, continuing the performance as if nothing had happened. Yet for the observant ARMY, that was exactly what made it so beautiful, the sincerity of something completely unplanned. A few seconds later, as the song transitioned into a lighter segment, Jungkook glanced at Jimin once more. It wasn't just a casual look, it felt like a silent reassurance, "I'm here." Jimin caught his gaze and gave a small nod, responding without words. That quiet exchange spoke volumes about the depth of their connection. Many fans only realized this moment after rewatching the performance, slowing it down, analyzing it frame by frame. And when they did, the reaction was almost unanimous. Emotional, overwhelmed, and deeply moved. Because in an industry often associated with perfection and image, moments like this feel undeniably real. Some ARMY even said that this tiny interaction meant more to them than any obvious or scripted display of closeness. Because this was instinct. This was genuine care. The kind that comes naturally after years of growing together, training side by side, and sharing both struggles and success. Looking back at their journey, the bond between Jimin and Jungkook has always carried a unique dynamic. From their trainee days to becoming global icons, they have evolved together, supporting each other in moments of doubt and celebrating victories as one. That brief moment on stage was just a small reflection of that long, shared history. What makes it even more powerful is the contrast between the scale of the stage and the intimacy of the moment. Thousands of eyes were on them, cameras capturing every move, yet the most genuine interaction happened quietly, almost hidden within the chaos. It was as if, for a second, the world faded away, leaving just the two of them in that space. Some fans expressed that this moment reminded them that beyond the title of global superstars, Jimin and Jungkook are still human. They can stumble, feel exhausted, and need reassurance, and they find that in each other. And perhaps that's why this moment resonates so deeply. At the same time, it highlighted their incredible sense of responsibility as performers. Despite the brief slip, they carried on flawlessly. No panic, no mistakes, just a perfect blend of professionalism and genuine care. By the time the song ended and they stood side by side with the other members, smiling and waving at ARMY, no one would have guessed that such an emotional exchange had just taken place moments before. But for those who noticed, it became a story hidden behind their smiles. As time passed, this moment continued to circulate among fans. Many said it reminded them why they love BTS. Not just as artists, but as people. Because in the end, it's not perfection that leaves the deepest impression, it's sincerity. And maybe that's the true beauty of the bond between Jimin and Jungkook. It's not about how often they show their closeness in obvious ways, but about how they are always there for each other, even in moments that almost no one sees. It may have lasted only a second. It may have been missed by many. But for those who caught it, it became a quiet reminder that even in the loudest, brightest places, there is always room for the smallest, most meaningful acts of care. And on a stage so vast, two hearts can still find each other, without needing a single word. In the end, it's often the quietest moments that leave the deepest impact. Not the loud cheers, not the perfectly executed moves, but the small, almost invisible gestures that reveal something real. That fleeting interaction between Park Jimin and Jeon Jungkook may have lasted only a second, but the feeling it carried continues to stay with those who saw it. It's a reminder that behind the global fame of BTS, there are genuine connections built on trust, care, and years of shared experiences. Moments like these don't need to be grand to be meaningful, they just need to be real. And maybe that's why, even if many missed it at first, this moment continues to resurface, touching hearts again and again. Because sometimes the most beautiful stories aren't the ones everyone sees, but the ones you're lucky enough to notice. And as fans continue to revisit that performance, slowing it down, watching it over and over again, it becomes more than just a hidden detail. It becomes a feeling. A quiet realization that what Park Jimin and Jeon Jungkook share goes far beyond what can be captured on stage. Because in a world where everything is amplified, filtered, and often performed for the spotlight, moments like this remain untouched, pure, and unspoken. They remind us that even in the busiest, most overwhelming environments, there is still space for genuine care, for instinctive protection, for silent reassurance. And perhaps that is what makes this moment unforgettable. Not because it was dramatic, but because it was real. Not because everyone saw it, but because it meant everything to those who did. So even as the music fades, the lights dim, and the performance becomes just another memory in the long journey of BTS, that one small moment continues to live on, softly, quietly, but powerfully, in the hearts of ARMY.